Well, good evening, everyone, and welcome to the regular meeting of the Texarkana, Texas City Council. Today is Tuesday, November the 12th, 2024. We'd like to welcome everyone joining us in the audience this evening, as well as those who may be joining us online. And at this time, I'll ask our City Secretary, Jennifer Evans, to provide a roll call. Ms. Evans?
Ms. Matlock?
Here.
Ms. Hart? Here. Mr. Thompson? Here. Mr. Davis?
Here.
Ms. Page?
Here.
Mr. Metter?
Here.
We do have a full council this evening, and then I will be providing the invocation and pledge. So if everyone will please stand. Father in heaven, we thank you for this beautiful day that you provide for us today. We thank you for the opportunity to be here in Northeast Texas, in the corner of Northeast Texas and Southwest Arkansas, serving our citizens here in Texarkana, USA. Father, I ask that you guide the council this evening as we take part of taking care of the business of our citizens, and we ask that you guide and direct each person leaving here this evening to provide them a safe journey home. We ask these things in your Son's precious name. Amen. All right. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Thank you very much. You may be seated. At this time, we'll be moving forward with our agenda with the swearing-in ceremony for Councilmember Matlock from Ward 1, Councilmember Hart, Ward 2, and then myself. And Judge Sherry Hawkins will be providing the pledge swearing-in ceremony this evening. Right before we do that, we do have our council members and myself, we do have guests with us this evening. So, Ms. Matlock, would you like to share with the audience the guests that you have with us this evening? Okay. Or that you have with you this evening, I'm sorry.
Yes, I have my sister Linda Matlock and my brother Steve Matlock.
Okay, all right, very good. Ms. Hart?
I have my church sister, Sister Wanda Gibbons, and a good friend.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Ms. Hart. And I have my supervisor, my wife, Jackie, is with us this evening, along with my daughter, Olivia, and her husband, Caleb, my son-in-law, Olivia and Caleb Coleman. So I want to thank them for being here and thank Jackie for all these many years of support. She has certainly been an inspiration and a support to me in the role serving in city government. And Councilmember Matlock and Councilmember Hart, if you would like to step down, we'll go ahead and take the oath.
They can see you.
Glad I lost some weight.
Perfect. Will each of you raise your right hand and be sworn? I state your name.
I, Jennifer Hart,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of, state your office,
of the office of City Council Member, Ward 1,
of the city of Texarkana, Texas,
of the City of Texarkana, Texas,
and of the state of Texas,
and of the State of Texas,
and will to the best of my ability
and will to the best of my ability
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws of the United States
the Constitution and laws of the United States
and of this state.
and of this state,
So help me God.
so help me God.
Thank you. If each of you would come around and sign your oath, please. Mayor, may I start with you, actually? I've got yours on top, if I may start with you. Right here. This is you. If you don't have your own pen, here's a pen right here for you. Thank you. And although you're usually the presenter of certificates.
Okay, yeah, well, thank you. Have my own. Thank you.
Yes, you're the recipient. You're next, Miss Hart. If you would sign right here, please. Thank you, and here is your certificate. Congratulations. And Ms. Matlock, if you would sign right here. Thank you. Thank you. You all write better than I do. And Ms. Matlock, here is your certificate. Congratulations to you, and we're blessed to have you. And we're blessed to have you. Congratulations. Congratulations, Mayor, and we're lucky to keep having you. Thank you very much.
Thank you for the applause, Councilmember Davis. All right, so, anyway. I just want to briefly say it's an honor and privilege to serve the citizens of Texarkana, Texas, and we have such a great council. I appreciate each and every one of these council members who serve our citizens in the various wards, and we have a tremendous, outstanding city staff as well. And so I just want to commend the great work that our staff does each and every day, taking care of our citizens, and we have so many citizens in our community who volunteer to serve on various boards and commissions for the city, and I want to thank them for their service as well, and all of our department heads and employees. It's greatly appreciated, the work that's done each and every day. I get compliments all the time from citizens complimenting various departments and various citizens, various employees rather, with the city. Our city also receives numerous awards in various categories throughout the year, especially in the areas of finance and public safety. And so commend everyone for the great effort, and look forward to another 3 years. So thank you all very much. At this time, we'll have the Texarkana Regional Airport, our third quarter budget update. Our airport director, Mr. Paul Merlick, is here this evening. Paul, welcome, and we look forward to your report, sir.
Good evening. Thank you very much for having me. So at this point, in the third quarter, revenues are $2,213,089. That includes the subsidies that we get from both cities. So the revenue less is $1,199,421. That's 73% of what we had expected in the budget. So we feel that that's within what we would expect at that point. Expenditures are $2,146,776, which is 79% of where we would expect. We have been a little bit higher on some overtime. The flights coming in at 11 o'clock tend to add up over time. And right now, revenues over expenditures, we are positive $66,313. January to September operations, which include takeoffs and landings, are 12,985. Enplanements, we've had 28,237 passengers. Parking revenue is $262,888. Rental car revenue is $232,558. Load factor, which is how full the airplanes are on average, is 74%. And landing fee revenue is $57,212. So we have been tracking all the way back to 2015, so you guys can kind of see numbers. Operations have been going down over the last 3 years. We attribute a lot of that to higher fuel prices, and then just the fact that the economy has been a little bit harder. People have less spending money to be able to go out and go do touch and goes at the airport. So that's a lot of the general aviation. Enplanements, last year we had 3 flights a day, and we had a record year for enplanements. This year, where we only have 2 flights, we are on track in years previous. You can see that one block of red, and that was during COVID. Parking revenue, you can see back in 2015, that was before we actually used to have the gate system for parking. It was the honor system. You can see that shot up quite a bit. The other red area again was COVID, and you can see that we have been above our average for that period of time. Rental car revenue has been increasing. One of the things that we're attributing this to is that there's more people renting cars to go out to the Magnolia area due to the lithium. So we do not know if that's just a temporary thing or if we'll continue to see an increase from that. Load factor, you'll see during the years for COVID and even into last year, we were under about that 70% mark. The Airlines like to see at least 70% for their flights to be profitable. So right now they're very happy because each month we have been over that. They do want to see our numbers increase to about 80% before we'll start discussing adding either a third flight back to Dallas or going into the Charlotte market. And then landing fee revenue, that changed after COVID because we started to charge all aircraft over 12,500 pounds. So we charge both general aviation and the commercial flights. In the past, we only had charged commercial flights. And then this year total, we have Signature, the fixed-based operator on the airfield that sells aviation fuels, has sold 451,000 gallons of fuel. And we do collect a fuel flowage fee from them on that. And our next board meeting will be December 5th, so we can work between Christmas and Thanksgiving. We won't be having one for the month of December. We'll meet again in January. From discussions with Dr. Orr in the future, these briefings will be provided to you as part of your informational packet. If there were any questions.
Any questions for Paul this evening? Well, certainly want to thank you for the great job that you're doing at our beautiful new airport terminal. I still receive numerous comments and compliments on our new terminal, and appreciate the great work that's taking place out there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here this evening as well.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you, Paul. All right, this time it's time for our Small Business Saturday proclamation that I'd like to share with everyone at this time. It's hard to believe it's the time of the year to do this. This has certainly been such a quick year. Whereas the government of Texarkana, Texas celebrates its local small businesses and the contributions they make to the local economy and community. And whereas, according to the United States Small Business Administration, there are 34.7 million small businesses in the United States. Small businesses represent 99.7% of firms with paid employees. Small businesses are responsible for 61.1% of new jobs created since 1995, and small businesses employ 45.9% of the employees in the private sector in the United States. And whereas 68 cents of every dollar spent at a small business in the U.S. stays in the local community, and every dollar spent at small businesses creates an additional 48 cents in local business activity as a result of employees and local businesses purchasing local goods and services. And whereas 59% of U.S. consumers aware of Small Business Saturday shopped or ate at a small independently owned retailer or restaurant on Small Business Saturday in 2023. And whereas Texarkana, Texas supports its local businesses that create jobs, boost the local economy, and preserve the communities. And whereas advocacy groups as well as public and private organizations across the country have endorsed the Saturday after Thanksgiving as Small Business Saturday. And whereas participating partners, including the City of Texarkana, Texas, City of Texarkana, Arkansas, Main Street Texarkana, and the Texarkana Chamber of Commerce, Communities Unlimited, Small Business Development Center, and partners from locally owned or small businesses in the greater Texarkana area have partnered to promote small businesses. And whereas participating partners will launch a scavenger hunt encouraging consumers to visit locally owned or small businesses within Texarkana between November 21st, 2024 to December 6th, 2024, consumers will hunt for hidden elves in participating businesses and scan a QR code attached to the elf, prompting them to fill out a form and enter to win a variety of prizes. Consumers are also encouraged to show their support by using the hashtag ShopSmallTXK24 when they visit local businesses this holiday season. Now, therefore, I, Bob Brugman, Mayor of the City of Texarkana, Texas, do hereby proclaim November 30th, 2024 as Small Business Saturday, and urge the residents of the Texarkana community and communities across the country to support small businesses and merchants on Small Business Saturday and throughout the year. I have signed the proclamation. It's also been signed by Jennifer Evans, our city secretary, and the city seal has also been affixed to the proclamation. So just want to once again support and thank our small businesses and encourage our citizens to frequent these businesses and help to prosper our local local economy, and so it's greatly appreciated. At this time, we'll move forward with mayor's remarks and items of community interest. I have just a couple of things to share. Our annual Main Street Christmas Parade this year will be held on Monday, December the 2nd, and it will begin at 7 p.m. And then the theme this year is entitled Across the Decades. And so those who are entering floats in the parade are encouraged to base their float on a particular decade. And so that'll be interesting to see. We always have a very large turnout from the community for our annual Main Street Christmas Parade. It seems like the number of entries continues to grow each and every year, and so want to look forward to that event coming up. Also, 1924 was a very busy year in our community. The construction of this building, City Hall, was in 1924. The construction of the Pro Theater right behind us was 1924. Part of the construction of the Hotel Grimm occurred in 1924. And also the Newtown Baptist Church was formed and started in 1924. It's located on Stevenson Street, just off of New Boston Road. And this past Sunday afternoon, Councilmember Matlock and I had the honor of attending their 100th century celebration, and Councilmember Matlock and I presented a proclamation at that event, and that's a very energized, would you say, congregation, Ms. Matlock? And so certainly enjoyed spending time with them, and want to congratulate Newtown Baptist Church for 100 years of service in our community and wish them well for many years to come. Moving along to our upcoming city council meetings, we only have one city council meeting remaining for 2024, and that will be held on Monday, December the 9th at 6 p.m. And then Parks and Recreation activities on November the 15th. The Disc Golf Association will host Night Disc Golf Tournament from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. at Spring Lake Park. December 5th is the annual Bramlett Beans and Cornbread from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., and it will be held at the Texarkana, Texas Convention Center. This is a fundraiser that was started by former Mayor James Bramlett many years ago to raise funds in the community for food baskets to be given to needy families in our community. Texarkana Water Utilities also plays a major part in this program as well, so encourage everyone to come out on December the 5th from 11 to 1 at the Convention Center. Also on December the 5th, the Advanced TSK Master Plan Public Meeting will be held at 6 p.m. at the Texarkana, Texas Convention Center. This will be the second meeting based on the Master Plan Public Meeting. We had one that was held a month or two back, and so we look forward to this upcoming event on December the 5th to learn more about Master Plan and also to gain input from our citizens in reference to the Master Plan. Additional Parks and Recreation information can be found on the city's website, and or you can certainly call the city and ascertain for more information. We have an upcoming event at the Pro Theater. The Texarkana Symphony Orchestra will present a Star Wars concert that'll be held on Saturday, November the 23rd at 7 p.m. And tickets for the Pro Theater show are available at protheater.org. This time, move along to our open forum, comments from the public. If there's anyone in the audience this evening who would like to address the council, you're welcome to do so. If you're here this evening to speak on behalf of one of our public hearing items, then I respectfully ask that you wait until we get to that public hearing item. We're more than happy to listen to your comments at that time. We also ask that you fill out one of the yellow sheets that can be found on the rack there by the door. And Ms. Evans, did we have any sheets that were, no sheets filled out? Is there anyone who would like to address the council this evening? If so, please come forward and state your name for the record. Okay, not seeing anyone coming forward. We'll now move along to appointments to boards, commissions, and committees. Do we have any appointments this evening by the council to boards, commissions, and committees? We do not? Okay. We'll now move along to items for consideration. We do have 5 items on the consent agenda this evening. Item 1 is to consider approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of the City Council held on October 28, 2024 at 6 p.m. Item 2, resolution number 2024-132, casting all 792 cumulative votes for Council Member Jay Davis, for membership on the Bowie Central Appraisal District's Board of Directors. Item 3, resolution number 2024-149, approving the Texarkana Regional Airport Executive Director to execute an agreement with Tatum Excavating Company, Incorporated of Texarkana, Texas, for general aviation apron expansion in the amount of $738,670, with funds approved in the Texarkana Regional Airport fiscal year 24 capital budget. Item 4, resolution number 2024-151, approving Parks and Recreation staff to submit a grant application in the amount of $43,531 for an outdoor education and recreational activity to be held in the Spring Lake Park of 2026 for children of underserved populations in the community. Item 5 is order number 2024-156. It's a minute order amending the fiscal year 25 master fee list to add, and it relates to 3/4 inch metering. Unless a council member would like to pull one or more items for consideration, I'll entertain a motion to approve the consent agenda as it has been presented. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Hart. We have a second by Councilmember Page. All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The consent agenda has been approved. We do have one action item this evening. It relates to resolution number 2024-153, approving 2 agreements for the Assembly Line project, an interlocal cooperation agreement with Texarkana College for construction and reimbursing college construction costs in an amount not to exceed $2 million, in an agreement for design-only services with architect Bill Patton in an amount not to exceed $40,000, deducted from the city's maximum reimbursement commitment to the college. And we will take action on this item this evening, and our city manager, Dr. David Orr, has some additional information to provide on this item. Good evening, Dr. Orr.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. As you stated, for your consideration tonight is a resolution that approves 2 agreements with the Assembly Line project, which was approved as part of the 2023 bond fund. This project consists of remodeling the old Discovery Place Children's Museum into a 2-story business incubator space. The project is a partnership between the City of Texarkana, Texas, Texarkana, Arkansas, Texarkana College, Texas A&M University, Texarkana, the University of Arkansas Hope, Texarkana, and Artex Ready. This past summer, the city and Texarkana College entered into a memorandum of understanding, and consistent with that MOU, the city and the college propose an interlocal cooperation agreement with the responsibility for construction with the college and the city assuming the project after improvements are completed. Additionally, this resolution will amend the previously approved design-build agreement with Bill Patton to a design services only agreement. With that, I'll be glad to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Dr. Orr on this item? Okay, very good. So is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
And Mayor, I will be abstaining.
Okay, Mr. Davis, thank you very much. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution?
So moved.
Okay, we have a motion. Is there a second? Okay, we have a second as well. Councilmember Thompson's made the motion. Councilmember Matlock has seconded the motion. This does pertain to a resolution, so there's not a caption, and so we do need to do a roll call or just do a vote? Okay, Ms. Evans, if you do a roll call, please.
Ms. Matlock?
Yes.
Ms. Hart?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Mr. Davis?
Abstain.
Yes.
Mr. Metter?
Yes.
Mayor Brueggemann?
Yes. The resolution passes, 6 votes in the affirmative and 1 abstention. And so the resolution 2024-153 has been approved. We'll now move along to our first briefings. Council want to make you aware that item 4 and item 5, item 4 being ordinance 2024-147, item 5 being ordinance number 2024-148. These 2 items have been withdrawn, so we will not be covering those items this evening on first briefings. In reference to first briefings, item 1 pertains to resolution number 2024-117, setting the 2025 City Council regular meeting schedule and city holidays. And in reference to all of our first briefing items, we will have public hearings and action taken by the council at our next meeting on December the 9th. And Resolution 2024-117 will be briefed by the city manager. Dr. Orr?
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. So each year, as you stated, the City Council sets the annual schedule for regular council meetings. Currently, the council meets twice monthly for 7 months out of the year, and then once a month for 5 months throughout the year. The proposed calendar schedule for 2025 includes holding monthly regular meetings on the second Monday of each month. This schedule will allow for more time for workshops, especially on specific topics, especially during budget season. It also preserves the same amount of time for the planning and zoning development schedule that we currently have. And with that, I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Any questions for Dr. Orr? Okay, very good. Item number 2 is ordinance number 2024-145, granting a specific use permit for one additional use of an LED digital display on an existing off-premise advertising billboard on an approximate 4.5 acre tract of land, being tracts 84A, 84C, and 85A. M.H. Janes Headright Survey, A-305, located at 7770 Hampton Road. Tyler Parsons representing FMG North Texas owners. And we have Michelle Daniel, who is going to brief us on our next several items on first briefings. Good evening, Michelle.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. So this is a request for a specific use permit to allow a LED digital display billboard located at 7770 Hampton Road, and the property is zoned commercial. The future land use map has designated this property as regional commercial. The adjacent zoning is single family 2 to the north, east, and west, I-30 to the south. The adjacent land usage is vacant property to the north and west, an auto body shop to the east, and I-30 to the south. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions for Michelle on this item? Okay. Item number 3 is ordinance number 2024-146, granting a specific use permit for one additional use of permanent cosmetics on lots 14 through 16, Block 3, Parish Place Edition, located 824 Richmond Road. Shankar Paudel, owner, and Saraswati Yadav, agent. I may have butchered both of those names. If I did, I apologize. I was just trying to do the best I could. So, Michelle?
Good evening again. So this is a request for a specific use permit to allow permanent cosmetics at 824 Richmond Road, and the property is zoned neighborhood services. The future land use map has designated this property as neighborhood residential. The adjacent zoning is neighborhood service to the south and west, and single family 2 to the north and east. The adjacent land usage is a washateria to the south, apartments to the west, and residences to the north and east. Staff and Planning and Zoning do recommend for approval of this request, and I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Questions for Michelle on this item? Okay. Item number 4, once again, and 5 have been withdrawn. We'll move along to item number 6, resolution number 2024-150, approving the fiscal year 2023-24 Community Development Block Grant CDBG Annual Comprehensive Assessment Performance Evaluation Report. And Megan Price is going to brief us on this item. Good evening, Megan.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Thank you for the opportunity to present this resolution tonight. So this will be looking over our Community Development Block Grant, our Annual Comprehensive Assessment Performance Evaluation Report, also known as our CAPER. For this report, we have a 15-day comment period that begins November 25th and ends December 9th at the second public hearing council meeting. We currently have notices sent out to the Texarkana Gazette, Amigo News, our City of Texarkana and Texas website, as well as our Facebook page. And we'll take a look at how we spent funds in 2024. So as you can see on this graph, a lot of our money went into general services. The rest was split between various things in public services, some of that being our COVID funds for CDBG that year. And on the next slide, we'll look a little bit more at those projects. Okay, so with our budget for our COVID funds, Only 2 of those have not been spent fully yet. All the rest of those projects have been completed and have fully been drawn. All of the expenses have been, or all the funding has been spent for those. Some of the big ones that we did was working with Mission Texarkana for their public services, as well as their coffee shop job training program, litter program. We did some sidewalk improvements, downtown curb ramps. We worked with Randy Sam, Salvation Army, and the Texarkana Homeless Coalition on various things for COVID expenses. And then for our CDBG program, we have completed all of those projects for 2023, 2024. We have a little bit of funding left in that we'll move over to next year and try to get that spent. Some of the major projects we did were the Bell Park Walking Trail, Kidtopia Park, some housing reconstruction, community gardens, bus stop covers, and public service for the various agencies we discussed before. And if any citizens have comments, they can turn them in to City of Texarkana here at City Hall on the 4th floor by 5 p.m. December 9th. And if anybody has any questions.
Any questions for Megan on this item? Okay, all right, thank you very much. Appreciate the information. Item number 7 is ordinance number 2024-152, amending Chapter 42 of the City Code of Ordinances to require looping of water mains and proscribing dead-end water mains. And we have Gary Smith, our Executive Director of TW, to brief the council on this item. Good evening, Gary.
Good evening, Mayor. Good evening, Council. Just a brief history before we get into why we developed a policy. In Texarkana, Texas, we have 419 dead ends. And the state of Texas requires that we flush the dead ends at least once per month. There's several of them that we have to flush more than that, just due to the lack of use of water on those dead ends. So the areas that require more flushing, we're putting in automatic flush valves. That saves manpower, saves a lot of money. And now we just started last year on our automatic flush valves, because right now we just sit in prescribed amount of time that from trial and error, we found that we could get our residuals where they need to stay. Well, now we're putting in these automatics. They're a little bit more expensive, so we can't do too many of them. They're about $25,000 each, but they actually measure the residual of chlorine. So as soon as it hits a certain point, it automatically shuts off. And all this is an effort to reduce water loss, conserve money, with the amount of flushing that we do. In 2023, we flushed over 125 million gallons of water, just to give you an idea. That equates to I think it's right at $200,000 for that water that was lost. To date, we have eliminated 61 dead ends, and we're continuing this as a process, as we can with funds available. We did talk with several cities to see how they handle dead ends to help develop this policy. In addition, for this policy to help incentivize development, this policy includes a program for partial assistance to projects that provide a public benefit. So with that said, I'll be glad to answer any questions. If I've left anything out, just please let me know.
Any questions for Gary on this item? Very good. All right, appreciate the great work you all do every day, Gary.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
We have one more item left on first briefings. It relates to item number 8, resolution number 2024-154, adopting 2025 legislative priorities for the city of Texarkana. And our city manager, Dr. David Orr, is going to brief the council on this item. David?
Good evening again, Mayor and Council. Wrong screen. During the 89th legislative session, it's anticipated the Texas legislature will decide many significant issues that will impact our residents, nonprofit organizations, and businesses in Texarkana. The Northeast Texas Regional Alliance legislative trip is scheduled for 2025 in Austin, where our local region's priorities will be discussed with elected members of the Texas State Legislature. Attached is our legislative proposed priorities for Texarkana for adoption for the 89th session of the Texas Legislature. I'll just go over those items real quick. So our top legislative priorities include Texas Health and Human Services funding for Behavioral Health Center, preserving home rule authority and our revenue structure currently with local municipalities, as well as items related to economic development and tourism, transportation, water, and open government and elections. And with that, I'll be glad to answer any questions that the council may have.
Questions for Dr. Orr on this item? Okay, very good. Well, this concludes our first briefings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to public hearings. Item 1 is ordinance number 2024-129, amending Articles 2 through 6 of Chapter 145, Historic Landmark Preservation and Historic Districts of the Code of Ordinances, and affirming support for the obtaining the certified local government status. This time, we'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved. Second.
Okay, we had 2 ties. So how about ladies first?
I'll defer,
Okay,
yes.
all right. So we have a motion by Councilmember Page and a very quick, right behind her, a second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, would you read the caption, please?
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending Articles 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 of Chapter 145 of the Land Development Code, Historic Landmark Preservation and Historic Districts, affirming support for obtaining certified local government status, containing a severability clause, containing legislative findings, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. Item number 2, ordinance number 2024-133, rezoning on lots 6 through 7, Block 6, Newtown Edition, located at 2118 Stevenson Street, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3. Sandra Keener, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. Once again, not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning lots 6 and 7, Block 6, Newtown Edition, located at 2118 Stevenson Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 2 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 3, ordinance number 2024-134, granting a specific use permit to allow a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on lots 6 through 7, Block 6, Newtown Edition, located at 2118 Stevenson Street. Sandra Keener, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance? Motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-793 to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on lots 6 and 7, Block 6, Newtown Edition, located at 2118 Stevenson Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Motion carries. Item 4, ordinance number 2024-135, rezoning on a portion of an approximate 1.76 acre tract of land being tract 334, Thomas Price Headright Survey, A-466, located at 906 Piney Road, from Single Family 2 to Commercial. James Harrington, owner. Matt Wallach, agent. At this time, I'll declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council. Okay, very good. If you'll please state your name for the record, sir.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Mayor and Council. My name is Matt Wallach. I'm representing the current property owner as well as the group looking to request this rezone and subsequently purchase and develop the property. And so with this, we have 1.76 acres on which a portion of we are looking to rezone from residential to commercial. This is consistent with the future planning map for the city as well as the adjacent zoning districts that are currently surrounding the property on all north, east, and south sides. And so with our specific plan after the rezone, it would be to develop a Starbucks coffee shop And again, this would kind of fit in with what's been going on around this area with some of the new retail that's popped up with the storage unit facility in the rear, as well as the service center to the north. And so with that, Planning and Zoning had approved or recommended to approve this last month. And so if there's any questions, I'm here to answer them.
Okay, very good, all right. Any questions for the representative? Okay, all right. Thank you for being here, sir. Ma'am, would you like to say anything? If you'll please state your name for the record.
Yes, not afternoon, good evening. I'm not good at public speaking. My name is Becky Cantrell, and I represent Green Bun Harrington LLC, the current owner.
Okay.
If you have any questions.
Okay, all right. Any questions by the council? Okay, we certainly thank you for being here this evening and your time very much.
Thank you.
All right. Public hearing is still open. If anyone else would like to address the council on this item, if you'll please come forward. Okay, this time I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Davis, a second by Councilmember Page. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas by rezoning on a portion of an approximate 1.76 acre tract of land being part of Tract 334, Thomas Price HRS A-466, located at 906 Piney Road in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from single-family 2 to commercial, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Very good. So best of luck to you, sir, with your project. All right. Item number 5 is ordinance number 2024-136, granting a specific use permit to allow one additional use of an off-premise billboard on a portion of approximate 2.29 acre tract of land, being Tract 109 H.S. James Headright Survey A-306, located at 2003 Chelf Road. Daniel Kirkland, owner, and Joe Thomas, agent. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. Not seeing anyone coming forward at this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Thompson. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-794 for the location of one additional use of an off-premise outdoor advertising sign, billboard, on a portion of an approximate 2.29 acre tract of land, being Tract 109, H.S. James, HRS A-306, located at 2003 Shelf Road in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes unanimously. All right, Mr. Thomas, thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate your attendance. Item number 6 is ordinance number 2024-137, rezoning an approximate 1.85 acre tract of land, being Tract 36C, R.E. Survey Headright Survey A-523, located at 2591 Page Street, from Single Family 1 to Single Family 3. Jonathan Fowler, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. This time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning ordinance of the City of Texarkana, Texas, by rezoning an approximate 1.85 acre tract of land, being Tract 36C, R.E. Survey HRS A-523, located at 2591 Page Street in the City of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, from Single Family 1 to Single Family 3, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item 7, ordinance number 2024-138, granting a specific use permit to allow a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on an approximate 1.85 acre tract of land, being tract 36C, RE Survey Headright Survey A-523, located at 2591 Page Street, Jonathan Fowler, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the ordinance?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Hart. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. Ms. Evans, the caption.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending the zoning map showing the location, boundary, and use of certain property by the granting of specific use permit number S-795 to allow the location of a double-wide HUD code manufactured home on an approximate 1.85 acre tract of land, being tract 36C, RE Survey HRS A-523, located at 2591 Page Street in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Ordinance passes. Item number 8, ordinance number 2024-139, amending PD-02-13 for site plan approval on lots 7 and 8, Block 5, Richmond Development, 4th Subdivision, located at 3504 Arista Boulevard, Aaron Gaylor, owner. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, if you'll please come forward and state your name for the record. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval?
So moved.
Motion by Councilmember Page. Is there a second? Second by Councilmember Thompson. Ms. Evans, the caption, please.
An ordinance of the City Council of the City of Texarkana, Texas, amending PD-02-13GR for site plan approval on lots 7 and 8, Block 5, Richmond Development 4th Subdivision, located at 3504 Arista Boulevard in the city of Texarkana, Bowie County, Texas, containing a repealer clause, containing a severability clause, and establishing an effective date.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The ordinance passes. Item number 9, resolution number 2024-141, recognizing the Liberty Isle Neighborhood Association as an official neighborhood association. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to come forward, please do and state your name for the record. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval? Motion by Councilmember Matlock, second by Councilmember Hart. This item pertains to a resolution, so there's not a caption. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes unanimously. Item number 10, resolution number 2024-142, approving the use of funds allocated in the Home Program Fund, Fund 209, to be used as a match for the city's homeowners reconstruction assistance, the HRA program. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution? Motion by Councilmember Matlock. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Hart. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. Resolution passes. Item number 11, resolution number 2024-143, authorizing the city manager to execute a reimbursement and development agreement with 2B Builders, LLC, Incorporated, for the purpose of aiding in economic growth in an amount not to exceed $71,055, with funds available in the city's general fund, Fund 101, and the Texarkana Water Utilities, Texas Capital Improvement Fund, Fund 62. At this time, I declare the public hearing open on this item. If anyone would like to address the council, please come forward. At this time, I declare the public hearing closed. Is there a motion for approval of the resolution? Motion by Councilmember Thompson. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Councilmember Davis. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. The resolution passes. This concludes our public hearings portion of the agenda. We'll now move along to the city manager's report. Dr. Orr?
Good evening again. Just a few updates to pass along to you tonight. First off, the Red River Army Depot and BAE Systems is celebrating a 20-year celebration that's coming up on Wednesday, November 20th at the Army Depot. And so I think you all received an invitation to that from the commander. So I encourage you to make it if you're available. And then also, just to save the date, our Employee Appreciation event will be next Tuesday, November 19th, from 11 to 1 at the Convention Center. And so we invite you to come out as we celebrate all our employees that day. And just want to congratulate you, Mayor, on your election, and then also Councilmembers Hart and Matlock on your reelection as well. So,
Thank you. Appreciate that. Okay. We'll now move along to administrative comments. Any comments by the council this evening directed to the staff? Okay. Any final comments from the staff to the council this evening, David?
no further comments.
Okay. Just a word to the council after adjournment, if you don't mind, if you'll please just stick around for a few minutes. The staff would like to get a group photo of the council to update our photograph of the council. And so if you'll just stick around for a couple of minutes after that, will be greatly appreciated. Unless there's any further business to be brought before the council, I entertain a motion for adjournment.
So moved.
We have a motion by Councilmember Matlock. Who seconded? Second by Councilmember Page. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, no. All right, we are adjourned. Hope everyone has a great Thanksgiving coming up. Thank you for being here this evening.